Hey guys, Colton Cumpston here with Chaos Adventures. Over the next few minutes, you're going to take a look at some of the bucks I've had right on top of me in the last few years. Some of them I ended up shooting, some of them I ended up letting go. But one thing they all have in common is they're all mature bucks, and if you're a bow hunter, you know how hard it is to outsmart a big mature buck. One thing that I can really say is a key factor to my success over the last couple years is Mountain Magic scents. He's got a variety of scents. This right here happens to be the Fog. But I'm telling you, this stuff right here is by far the best scent on the market that I've ever used. I've used about everything you can, and I don't ever go into the woods without Mountain Magic. I spray on it when I leave the truck or the quad, side by side, whatever it is, and then as soon as I get in my stand, I spray down. And as you'll see here, moments after climbing in the stand, I've had big mature bucks walk right in on the same trail. I've had big bucks stop and feed 15 yards from me with the wind blowing right in their face. They're lip curling, trying to scent check me. Have no idea I'm there. And that all goes to Mountain Magic. I mean, I don't wear scent lock. I don't wear scent blocker. I wear regular camo. I take scent-free showers, do everything else you should do. But Mountain Magic scents puts the icing on the cake when it comes to getting close to these big bucks. So get you some, and you too will have a big increase in your success this fall. Alright, yeah, so like this buck right here scored 173. 5.5-year-old buck. Watch this deer. And he is like 8 yards from us right here. Got me and the cameraman in this tree. Sprayed off Mountain Magic Original. Buck had no clue we were here. Ended up finding him 2 days later. Made a low shot on him. Completely my fault. But we was able to get him. Had no clue we were up in the tree. Two of us. This buck right here, Pretty Boy is what this deer here we called him. We hunted this deer down in Ohio. Had him come out right here. He's winding us, right? Wind's blowing right in his face. I'm sitting in a ground blind, eye level with him, obviously. Wind's blowing right at him. He has no clue. He stopped right back there, scent checked, ends up walking right up to me. But he faced me the whole time. Never did give me a clean shot. And actually ended up having to pass this deer. And that was hard. Really hard. But luckily I ended up catching up to him later in the season. Same thing, same spot. It was a cold day. And in this picture here, this video, it ended up raining earlier that day. And that actually makes the scent glands on a buck a lot more sensitive. And he still had no clue that me and the cameraman were sitting there 15 yards in front of him. Right here he is again, later in December. Same spot. Got two does feeding in front of me right now. And he ends up coming up, walks right up to me, stops right here, 15-yard shot, bam, that's all it wrote. There he is, and up close. Here's just another decent buck. I mean, probably 3.5-year-old, maybe 4. No clue we were there. This buck here, same thing. It's raining right now, wind in his face. Here's a little buck bedded down right in front of us. Now this buck here, he's an old mature buck that was on the farm. Right here, the wind's blowing right at him. He stops, starts scent checking, lip curling. Had no clue I was up in the stand. And I probably would have shot him if he came in. He stayed about 50 yards out, cruising along the edge. Here's a nice buck. Actually, don't even know what happened to this buck. He just kind of disappeared. But here he is. Walked right underneath of me opening week of bow season. And that trail that he's on, that's the same trail that I just walked in on and climbed up in my stand. Had no clue I was there. Passed him. Thought he was going to blow up into a giant the following year, and he disappeared. Never saw him again. This buck right here, I'm set up on a ridge top here, and I had just grunted and snort wheezed, and he come right up over the bank. Stopped. Right here he is. He's throwing his head up, trying to scent check, making a little scrape, and as you can see on the leaves, they're blowing right at him. No clue I was there. ended up passing that deer. I never shot him. Here's a bobcat. This right, I threw this in here because this right here goes to really show a bobcat sense of smell is unreal. And that trail that he walked down right there, creeping down on, and that gas line's the same trail that I snuck in on and climbed up in my tree. Sprayed myself off when I got off the four-wheeler, and sprayed myself off real good with Mountain Magic Fog. Walked down in there, slipped up in my stand, and next thing I know, I looked down, here's this bobcat, and he actually ended up busting me whenever I swung for the camera. But I watched him walk 75 yards down the same trail that I walked in on. He had no clue. And pretty cool how he slowly sneaks out of there. And this right here, the big buck that I had showed in a couple clips back, this was him the following year. He was on his downside. I ended up screwing that one up, but he had no clue I was there. Shot over his back. And this little buck here just feeding underneath of me, no clue I was there. And this big brute right here is one I shot. Grunted, snort, wheezed. He come right up. Same thing, as you can see on the leaves, the wind's blowing right down at his face down this valley. He had no idea. He comes up. I grunted, stopped him right here. Just down to the edge of frame, shot him. He ran down there 40 yards, died. And that's about it.